The Realization of Love. A DMT trip report by Jack Darko, uploaded to erowid.org on September 22nd, 2010. How do you expect the unexpected? How do you describe the indescribable? How do you believe the unbelievable? And how do you question the unquestionably flawless intelligence of God's mind? You don't. You sit back with trusted friends. You raise a glass pipe to your lips. You inhale 3 times, and then you dive soul first into an ocean of seamless reality that either washes you over like a mother bathing her child, or crashes onto you as if the heavens fell from the skies. Welcome to hyperspace. It seems I only post after a particularly enlightening and sensational psychedelic journey, and I suppose that's all that's needed. If I were to leave the epic insights of tripping to mere memory, I'm afraid I'd lose the vast majority of it to the constant bombardment of constricted thinking, closed-minded perceptions and petty emotions that race through my mind daily. A documented reference to mystical experiences serves to capture and savour my fleeting glimpses of divine truth. The day was set and the participants selected. We sat in humble unison on the floor as Spongel accentuated the atmosphere with an ominous foreshadowing of events to come. There was limited conversation as the pipe was being loaded with a yellow crystal that seemed to unconsciously demand respect. There were 6 of us. 3 newcomers and 3 experienced DMT travellers, yet all of us nervously waited for someone else to volunteer for the first smoke. A timid, "I'll go first," broke the silence, but I followed with, "I will if you'd like. I'll go first." I figured someone vaguely familiar with the power of DMT should handle the inauguration of the sacrament, while simultaneously being reminded by another traveller the product was extracted by my hands. It would only be right for me to christen it. It was then that my heart began to pound. I was nearly overwhelmed by the impending intoxication that would soon be taking control of my senses. After exhaling my first hit though, I was immersed in what seemed like a warm electric bath, so encompassing and so reassuring. I exhaled my second hit. Deeper now, I sank into a lake of exotic visions. I only opened my eyes to see the pipe for a third toke. As I exhaled again, a fabric of warping designs gave way to a female being who seemed to offer herself to me. Without consciously deciding, I observed myself taking advantage of the opportunity and throwing myself upon her. Immediately I pulled myself up. I realised there were more important things to do and decided to explore. I then saw countless people walking frantically from place to place. It felt like I was in a restaurant watching servers bustle about, working on something. They were quite indifferent to me being there. As the drug metabolized in my body, the world grew fainter and fainter until disappearing into blackness. I opened my eyes. Physically and emotionally I felt quite refreshed, but felt spiritually lacking, as if I had missed something. Slightly disappointed, but otherwise completely tranquil and thankful for having a pleasant experience, we sat in silence once more as the pipe was being loaded. 4 more people smoked, but none attained a breakthrough experience. Then the person who had first volunteered for the first trip was up. She took 4 solid and thorough hits, and for 5 to 10 minutes we watched as she undeniably broke through. It was very powerful watching her lifting and raising her head while breathing heavily and sensuously, eyes closed and soul deep. After she came back into this material view of things, she slowly elaborated on what happened. I then inspected the pipe, and figured there was sufficient amount of build-up still inside the bulb to attempt another session of my own. By this point though, I think I was underappreciating the awesome power of DMT, after feeling a tad shortchanged by my initial experience, and apparently ignoring the intense behaviours of the previous traveller. First hit, long and slow. I hold deep, 10 seconds at least, and exhale. Damn, this is heavy. I hand the pipe to my friend so I wouldn't have to worry about holding it myself. Second hit. I don't know if I like this. My heart is pounding and my lungs are sore from my first trip. I'm in a state of unease and paranoia. I can't die from this, right? My awareness is harassed by an onslaught of frightening thoughts and a menacing carpet of hallucinations obscuring my view. I don't want this anymore. The pipe is smoking and ready for a third hit. I don't want to back down, but I don't want to go further in. My chest is pounding. I think I'm dying. I press my lips against the glass and drag. My lungs are so raped from the smoke that it's hard to keep hailing, but I manage. I hold in and exhale. Blast off. God damn. Where am I? I want to go home. My chest feels as if there's a hole in it, as if my heart is missing. This is so painful. I'm alone. I'm scared and I want my heart back. I want to be alright. Wait, what is this? What is this presence around me? Am I not alone? I'm in a room now. There are two adults, female and male. I sense their glorious power. It flows off them like the sun radiates light. I'm a child here, ignorant, frightened and confused. I only see them from the waist down to the feet. I don't even try to look up to them. I'm not worthy. I'm not the only child. There is a table or box full of toys and there is a young child exploring them. My God, this is so intense, I don't know if I like it. Panic grips my body once again. Everything is so alien and terrifying. Wait, I'm here. I'm right here, right now. I've dreamed of being here. I've fantasized about meeting these beings. I've prayed for conclusive answers possibly arising from a breakthrough experience. And here I am. Why am I clinging so tight to my thoughts and emotions? Why not investigate? Forget life and death. Absorb myself into what is happening right now. I'm in the room, and without speaking I ask the adults why I'm here. Immediately she hands me a toy. I look at it and it's some magnificent geometrical building block. I stare into it, focus entirely on it. It begins to glow bright. I focus harder. It glows even brighter and it transmits an energy to me. Something familiar. The feeling overwhelms me and it feels heavenly. My God, this is true love, and I felt it before. My heart is back again. There's no more hole, just complete wholeness. I look back up at the child playing with the toys. He is so happy now. He begins tossing his toys into the air in celebration, and it hits me. This is the love I have for my son. It is a reflection of my intense feelings for him. Unexpectedly, I'm reminded of all the times I haven't been the best father I'm capable of being. I'm reminded of my thoughts of moving somewhere else. Not to leave him, but to start fresh somewhere else and to visit him when I can. These thoughts instantly wrench my heart from my chest, and I'm sucked into a tornado of hellish anxiety, utter despair and guilt. No, I cannot and I will not leave him. He is my inspiration for living, and without him I will die, whether it be physically, emotionally or spiritually, or even all three. I will wither into nothingness without his love. As soon as I realise this, I am back in the room. The adults are moving about quicker now, as if in a hurry. I start thanking them for showing me this and how beautiful it is. I begin to get teary-eyed by thinking about my emotions, and again, I am filled with a veil of hallucinations that depict love and remorse. I realise that I am under the influence of a short-acting drug, and I need to go back to the room before I lose touch with it. Back in the room once again, and the adults are running now, and things are starting to get dimmer and dimmer. I ask what else they have to show me. The female strikes me as if reprimanding a child. As if she was saying, "Listen now, pay attention, stop drifting off. This is important." She then hands me a mystical-looking hourglass as she squats down. She is in full view now, and I can feel her love pouring over me. She reaches in and pulls a handful of the most serene, white, glistening sand imaginable, and allows it to fall. I reach my hands out and catch it. It flows through my fingers and it is orgasmic. Pure love is all about, and as this sand slides into my hand and slips through the cracks of my fingers, I understand what she is telling me. Time is the most precious thing we have. It is fantastic and inconceivable. It is also as brief and fleeting as every grain of sand that falls through the cracks of my hand. Use the time you are given wisely. Enjoy the precious moments of life and celebrate them with your son. Your life is only as full and rich as you make it, and your son is the measure of your worth. Fade to black. I cry. I begin to shake, and I try my hardest to convey the deepest of thanks to these beings. They open my eyes to the beauty of life that has always been in front of my face. I've always known he was my purpose, but to have someone so powerful demonstrate so explicitly how meaningful he is was jaw-dropping. I cry some more. I open my eyes and everyone sits in silence. The energy in the room is sublime. I wipe my tears and say my goodbye.